I have crashed my Fiesta ST. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, what stupid things was I getting up to? Was I doing classic Fiesta ST things? Well, what's kind of sad about this is no, I wasn't. And obviously, I drive my cars quite hard, and this was not a product of that at all. It was simply pulling out of a car park and basically a misassessment of a situation where a third party seemed to have stopped for me and someone came round them as I was pulling out into my side. So I don't know where we're going to be at in terms of fault. I'm hoping 50-50, maybe 80-20 towards me. I think they had plenty of time to stop, so it seems a little unfair that it would be more fault of mine. But yeah, basically we've been through a whole insurance process. I'm going to talk about everything that's happened over the last couple of days because this happened on Monday night. Just been taking everything out the car. I'll show you a bit of the damage, and yeah, it's sad because this car, great condition, low mileage, loads of modifications. Obviously I'm with modified insurers, so that's another element of this which is quite interesting. So let's show you the damage and then let's talk a bit about what has gone on with the insurance. So the other guy, essentially, I was crossing round and he came into the back side of me. Obviously you can see that here. Now this dent is pretty hefty, I'm not going to lie. This doesn't close, but in terms of actual damage to the wheel, to suspension, to anything like that, it seems mostly okay. Now when I got some opinions, it was mostly that this car would get written off, just because they just tend to do that these days, insurers. So that's kind of what I was expecting. And when I first spoke to my insurers on that night, obviously they said they would get back to me the next day. I got a call from those insurers, my insurers, and they essentially said that from my description of the damage, it was repairable. Now, this is quite surprising to me, and I found it a bit unbelievable that they could make this assessment without even seeing it. Not even seeing in person, but not even seeing photos. So I said, I want to send you some photos. I want you to say what you think then. So I did that. Annoyingly, I dealt with a woman who, it was just a bit of a mess. I essentially did that, and I got a formal letter back today. Now, that letter says something along the lines of, yes, we think that this will be uneconomical to repair, so we do think we'll be writing this car off. However, we're going to get it taken by Copart and we're going to get it assessed, but likely it will be written off. Now, I have a lot of modifications on this car. I probably have £3,000 worth of modifications, and one of the perks of going with a modified insurer is purely that those modifications should be covered. In this letter, what it said is that if we write it off, we will then give you the value we think it is, considering the modifications as well. Now that's good on face value, but how much of a consideration will that actually be? And obviously, you know, with insurance, I will likely have to fight them a bit on the price. Now, what do I think this car is actually valued at? Value on my policy essentially is £8,000, but they know that I spent £9,000 only sort of 7 months ago. Now, I don't think they're going to offer me that, to be honest, even with the modifications. So then we're going to be in a bit of a fight, and I'm probably going to have to give them examples of ones for sale and talk about the mileage, because the main thing with this car is that it's full service history. It's ST3, so the highest spec. It only has 50,000 miles and it's had a full health check and everything. Like, it's a real good condition car. So they'll probably give me a value, we'll hopefully agree a value, and then I'll be in a position where maybe I can buy this car back. And then it's a question of, do I want to buy this car back? Because I then have a number of options. I have the option to buy it back and repair the car and continue driving the car. Obviously, it will have a category status. Or I could buy the car back, sell it to a breaker, see if I can make a little bit of money like that and get something else. And then it's a question of, what else do I get? And obviously insurance is going to be a big part of this, because is my insurance premium going to go through the roof, especially if this is considered more of a fault or a 50-50 fault. Now that's probable, to be honest, and it might mean getting something fun and cheap for a year or so, or going completely the other way and financing the shit out of something really nice. I don't know. My head's all over the place. It's become awful timing. I've resigned from my job recently, and this happened the day after I did that. It's just typical how all this stuff happens. Yeah, I'll show you the inside damage of the car as well, because it has gone into the inside. So if we go into the back here, that, give you a better angle, is essentially dented in. You can see it sort of pressing up against the seats. That is dented. Now, if they don't write this off, then they will be repairing it. I'll get a courtesy car, and essentially I'll be paying the excess. And my excess, apparently, I wasn't quite aware of this, is £500 because there's a young driver under 25 excess on top of the excess. Now, I'm sure at the time when I took this insurance out that they said that wouldn't apply for me for this car. So I am going to try and fight that a little bit. But yeah, overall, I'm just gutted. I haven't had an accident the whole time I've been driving. This is my first one. I don't deal with stress very well, so this was quite difficult. And it's been annoying just going back and forth with the insurance. I also now need to work out what I drive, because they're coming to collect the car on Monday and then they're going to assess it. What do I drive until then? My dad's got an old Land Rover, and I could technically insure that and unsawn it, so then I have to tax it. But it's then going to be a bit annoying if they say they can repair this, because I'll probably pay an arm and a leg just to insure and tax for like a month when I don't really have to. I might get it back repaired in 2 weeks or whatever. So yeah, it's gutting. I never thought this would really happen to me, but it makes some good content, and I've been updating people on TikTok and Instagram. So if you are enjoying the videos, if you want to see where this leads, then please do subscribe, and go and follow me on those other 2 platforms as well. Peace.